Welcome to the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Podcast. Thoughts, analysis, and information to help you succeed in your fantasy football leagues. I am your host, Chad Lyon, and joining me is Nick Hunsicker.
Yo!
And our producer, Mitchell Bird.
Hello!
This is our Week 12 Thursday Night Football and 1 o'clock game slate preview. How's Nick doing?
Good, man. I'm happy to be here. It's been a little bit.
Feels like it's been forever.
Yeah. I'm glad Ty got his time with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like me some pie.
I know you do. I know.
Like me some Nick, too.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Hey, we have top 3 today.
Yeah.
So, Nick, give me your top 3 lists of sporting events that you have attended.
So my first one is the 2019 Stadium Series at Lincoln Financial Field. It was the Flyers-Penguins game. I saved up money and bought tickets for my dad and I to go. And
That's awesome.
It was dumping rain, freezing cold, and we still had a blast. And then Claude Giroux scored the overtime goal for the Flyers to win. And it's definitely one of the best experiences of my life. Number 2 was, it's kind of like a dual one. Sharks and Flyers played that night. Gracie and I went to the Sharks and Flyers game on purpose because they let you in early so that you could watch in the bars in the Wells Fargo the Padres-Phillies game. That was during the NLCS. And that was when Bryce Harper hit the home run to take the lead, and the bar went crazy. It's the most electric experience I've ever like, Gracie and I got on the front page of Philadelphia Flyers Instagram. Like, they took a video of us celebrating. It was awesome. The Sharks ended up winning, but I didn't care about the Flyers game at that point.
Right.
And then just this year, I got to take Gracie to her first Phillies game. We went and seen the Astros and the Phillies in August, and the Phillies won 5-0. And she had a blast. I had a blast. It was just a good time. So
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That all sounds like good stuff. How about you, Mitchell?
Well, that was very inspiring, buddy. I don't have near the history with actually going to live events. I got more memories like watching football with my dad in his room, and that type of stuff.
Sure.
But I guess in high school, watching my brother play baseball was pretty amazing. Not a particular game, but just
Jennings?
Jennings,
What a
yeah.
stud at the plate.
They just won world championship in softball down in Florida this last week.
That does not surprise me at all.
49 teams, I believe, and they won it all. And they're
Nice.
That's
technically world champs. So but
That's sick.
other than that, I just have games I want to go. I want to go to Acrisure. Want to go to PNC. There's stuff like that. But I'm planning on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to touch on this one more time. When I was a little kid, I would ride my bike down to the school to watch the Saturday morning varsity baseball games. There was always Saturday morning varsity ball games. Remember that, Mitchell?
Oh, yeah.
And I would sit right behind what used to be like the old backstop, and I would sit right there. And every time Jennings was up, it's like, oh, Jennings is up. And I'm like 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought Jennings Bird was like the baddest man on the planet. And I always thought he was the only one on the team that when he would hit the ball, he'd go, ooh,
Every time.
Yeah, and I just thought he was such a beast, man.
That's awesome.
Gap shooting in the outfield. Like he was
Center
an
fielder.
animal at the plate.
Nice.
A great outfielder as well.
He ran like a deer, man.
Yeah.
He's just so light.
Yeah.
Jennings was an elite athlete. man.
Sweet.
He-
Still is.
That's badass.
40 years old,
for
man.
sure. My list would be taking my son to his first Penn State football game.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And what was not cool was I didn't know that we needed parking passes. And I got there and had to park in this lower lot. $60 cash to park down there. I'm like, what? It's this highway robbery.
Ooh.
$60 to park in this muddy field.
Yeah.
And then I have to walk like a mile to the state. What is this?
Yeah.
Now, if I park, like right up nose to the stadium, and you want $60 for that?
Sure.
Sure.
But it was awesome, man. He got to see Pat Fryermuth play.
Oh,
and then he goes to his Steelers.
Nice.
Following. Yeah,
Beautiful.
That was real cool. We saw KJ Hamler. And then you got to see him get drafted and thought that was awesome.
Yeah,
Stuff
that's
like
cool.
That was very cool. Another one with my son, going to the Orioles game at Camden Yards. That was with my son before he left for college. Like 2 weeks before he left. So that was not that he's that far away, but I haven't seen him in almost a month now.
Sure.
So
Right.
But that was a really good time. I found myself a lot of the time, this is so corny, but like watching him watch the game
Yeah.
a lot.
Right.
Just, time is so weird, man.
Yeah.
I don't like it. My third one would be my dad taking me to see Penny, Shaq, and the Orlando Magic play the Washington Bullets.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
Penny hit a buzzer beater, three-pointer, to send it to overtime. Orlando won. It was awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
was when I was a kid, I was this huge Shaq fan and a huge Orlando man. I had a poster on my bedroom door, him hanging off a rim. I love, and I'm not even a real big basketball fan.
Sure, right? Sure.
But that was awesome, and I like Penny Hardaway a lot, and I still have the card that he bought me from like a dealer that was set up at that game.
Yeah,
and I gave it to my kid here recently because he's way into cards and stuff. So, but yeah, that was a fun one, and just for Penny to hit that buzzer beater. But I got to see like Calbert Chaney and George Mirasan for the Bullets. You remember George Mirasan?
No,
dude, he was this like 7-foot European dude, and like, but he was older at the time. And, like, dude had no knees. I mean, it was ridiculous. They're down there like passing the ball around. Orlando has the ball, and Mirasan is like barely hitting half court trying to run down there. It's like, oh man, that guy looks so old. I remember my dad like making jokes about it for 4 straight quarters. But yeah, it was cool. Or 5, I guess, because there was an overtime. But
right.
Yeah, it was a good time. I remember it like yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, all right. You want to get into some football?
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with Thursday night football. The Steelers at the Browns. So lots of buys this week for those spot starting. We get some bounce back numbers from Russell Wilson in this one.
That should have been so much better last week.
I disagree. Ty and I kind of went over this. Like, he was kind of upset about it, and I get it. But there is no rivalry like the Steelers and the Ravens.
There's not.
And as bad as the Ravens' pass defense has been, both teams, no matter how bad it is on whatever side of the ball, they always rise to the occasion for that game. And, that was Russ's first taste of the Ravens and Steelers rivalry. And
sure.
There's no score. There's never any scoring in that game.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, nobody hits 20 points, like, ever.
Yeah.
Last 9 games, nobody scored over 20.
Right.
That's crazy.
So, like, I kind of I'll give them a pass there.
Yeah.
The Browns are beat up. Now, this is a division game. They can be wonky. You never know.
Yeah.
But I would give him some spot start consideration this week. You?
I'm not jumping off the bridge to start him, but
no.
If you have to.
But like I said, 6. This is a bad bye week for people who need to win right now. It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm with you. I'm not like racing to like get specifically Russell Wilson, but if that's who I have to deal with this week, you could do a lot worse.
Yeah, for sure.
Could be Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
The Browns are 25th against the wide receiver position. Denzel Ward is beat up with rib and ankle injuries. He may or may not play. It's not clear. I don't know yet, but it is a short turnaround. So how are we feeling on George Pickens this week?
He's 3rd in the league receiving. So
yeah, I have some numbers.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So first of all, I love George Pickens.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
I love these numbers too. 4th in red zone targets with 12. 29% target share. That's good for 6th. 5th in yards per team pass attempt with 2.6. His explosive rating, which is basically receptions of 20 yards or more, is 1st. He's 7th in yards per route run with 2.7. So yards per route run. I don't ever break any of these down, so I should. This is an easy one. So a higher yards per route run means a receiver is gaining more yards on average per route they run. So signifies efficiency in generating separation and creating opportunities for catches. The average yards per route run across the NFL is typically 1.5. So anything above that is considered above average. It's pretty well considered elite when you're around 2.5. Again, Pickens is at 2.7.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I love these numbers. And the numbers aside, I am a huge Pickens fan. I love everything about his game. He is an every week.
Crazy.
He's every week receiver too for me.
Yeah, I
every
love
week.
Him.
The guy is just, he plays like a bully, and I love that in receivers, man. It's just like, you ain't gonna push me around, dude.
Yeah.
And like, I know that's your job, and let me just right now tell you, you ain't doing your job.
You're not
today.
doing it.
Yeah, I'll do your job for you against you.
Yeah.
How about that? I'll play corner and catch the ball.
Yeah, he's
the
crazy.
guy's unreal, dude. It's like he plays corner at receiver against other corners.
Yeah.
Like
Seriously.
he's the one doing the push and shoving. Like he's just, dude,
Yeah.
the guy's awesome.
Yeah.
I love Pickens,
Mhm.
dude. So yeah, wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
The Browns 7th against the running back position. Thoughts on Najee and or Jalen Warren this week?
Yeah. Najee's doubled Jalen Warren's carries lately, and they both had 4 catches in that last game. It just, Jalen's been more productive with what he has had. Najee's kind of fallen off a little bit the last 2 games.
With his production, right. But the touches
With
haven't gone anywhere.
Right. The touches haven't
No.
moved. So you're riding the touches.
They're both flexes for me. Like I
Yeah.
don't love it, but
Yeah, I'd like to say Najee with the amount of touches he gets is an RB2 and Warren's more of a flex.
I will go with like the way Ty looks at it. Like it's to me is just like the best way to say it out loud. Najee is like a higher end flex, and Jalen Warren is a lower end flex.
Sure.
To me is
Right.
but listen, 21 or more total touches for Najee in each of his last 4. Like can't argue with consistent volume, man.
Right.
Like if it's there, it's there. Like that's just kind of how it goes.
Right.
I'm going to avoid spot starting Winston this week. Mitchell also let us know maybe this goes into consideration for Russell Wilson too. Like they're expecting around 30-mile-an-hour winds there.
That's insane.
Again, weather can it could be 4 miles an hour by the time
Yeah.
that, Thursday gets here, but I mean that's only a day away, so I don't know. Like now weather's tightening up now. Like, it's
Yeah.
only a day out, so yeah, it's
It's going to rain also. Like that pretty much is guaranteed. The
Yeah.
wind level will be changing.
yeah. Maybe I just what I will. I would like to avoid both of these quarterbacks
Yeah.
this week. I think you.
Yeah. I
and
think
the
so.
thing that sucks is Jameis throws a ton.
Yeah.
Like maybe I shouldn't avoid, but playing the Steelers defense, weather looks very
Terrible.
anti-pass game.
Yeah.
So, you should be able to find some decent options. Like you shouldn't have to force yourself to play Jameis.
Sure.
I'm also avoiding Nick Chubb this week.
Yeah.
Nick, I imagine you are.
Still doesn't look like
No,
Nick Chubb.
like I don't even want to flex him honestly.
Yeah, he's only ever averaged 71.7 yards against the Steelers in all of his games played against them, and in 10 games he only has 2 touchdowns anyway. So
Yeah, and this, I mean, you can't run on this defense.
Yeah.
You barely can run on this defense.
yeah,
How do the Browns receivers finish this week? Tillman, Judy, and Moore. Now Moore is questionable with a shoulder, but it doesn't seem serious. I actually haven't even looked to see if he lost that tag, but like they didn't seem concerned. So
yeah. In normal weeks, Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman are both flexes, if not higher.
yeah, I'll go Tillman, Judy, Moore still.
Yeah,
But-
I think so. I would like it to be Tillman, Jeudy, Moore, but last week it was definitely Jeudy.
Yeah.
But-
But again, if this is how the weather is going to be, man,
I don't really like any
George
of them.
Pickens is the only one I have any interest in this
Right.
game. If it, smash start Njoku though,
Yeah.
because of the position he plays, the wind shouldn't factor the balls he gets too much.
He also has been terrible against the Steelers in
Yeah.
his career.
Yeah, but like,
really bad.
can you afford to bench Njoku? I
No.
guess if you can,
No,
Great.
yeah, sure.
and
If
like
you-
even like the guys who went out and picked up Taysom Hill this week, he's on bye.
yeah,
So like,
right.
good luck.
Yeah.
If you can, maybe you have Zach Ertz.
Yeah, I would rather start Zach Ertz
Maybe you have Will Disley.
with the way he's been playing lately. Give me
They're
Disley.
hammering him up that seam.
They sure are.
Yeah, unless it's something that makes you feel good, you have to start Njoku. Let's
Yeah.
call it like that.
Right.
You got anything else for this one?
No.
All right, let's move on to the 1:00 games, and we'll start with the Titans at the Texans. Yippee!
Oh boy.
Texans run defense. We're going to make the Titans pretty quick. Solid run defense for the Texans. A little banged up front though, but bounce back for Pollard or not this week?
No.
I don't like it.
No, they're 9th against the run. So.
Yeah. Houston does struggle against the pass. Well,
They're
let's
6th.
let's
They're
go.
6th against the pass.
They are. Teams are throwing all over them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
In real life or in fantasy?
as far as yardage goes,
Interesting. I have to pull something up
in
real
real
quick.
life, I'm pretty sure. I could have been looking at the wrong list too.
They're 24th against receivers.
Against receivers, against the pass in general.
21st.
21st against the pass in general.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Against quarterbacks?
I must have looked at the wrong
You
list,
mean like this? So they're 21st against quarterbacks. They are 24th against receivers.
This is I go off of just like total. So the total defense, and then they have the total pass defense, and they were 6th against the pass. They give up a ton of touchdowns.
Right. Yeah. So far, they've given up 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16. Here's the points that they've allowed per game to receivers. 41, 24, 35, 41, 16. That's against Buffalo with like no receivers.
Right.
That was back in week 5. And then 38, 36, 27, 53, 28, 42. You can't really run on them.
And Will Levis has been better.
Yeah. So I guess the question is Calvin Ridley?
Calvin Ridley's been pretty good lately. He's getting a ton of targets.
I'll flex him.
Yeah. His lowest was 6 targets in the last 4 weeks. So
ton of buys on tap.
Yeah.
This is a good flex this week, in my opinion. Back to Pollard real quick. How are you feeling about him, Restus? Is something feel off there?
I wanted to trade him in every league that I had. I had him in 2 leagues. I did get rid of him in 1. Couldn't get rid of him in the other. So I'm going to ride it out, but I'm not happy about it.
Probably really hard to fade him too.
Yeah.
For all the buys, and he's kind of been an RB2 for the most part.
Right.
So it's tough. It's tough to fade him. If you can, cool. If you can't,
good luck.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if you walked away with 14 fantasy points.
Sure.
I'm leaning a little more closer to 10 this week.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If you have not dropped Stroud by now, I'm not sure what you're waiting for. I have no interest.
No,
I don't even really know if it's so much a Stroud problem. They just run the piss out of the football.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, Yeah. I don't care how good this Titans team is. They're better against the pass anyway. Be confident in Mixon. I'm not even going to say temper your expectations. You can run on the Titans. Full steam ahead, baby.
Yeah.
Go Mixon. I am actually concerned about Nico, though. Not because, again, this is like CJ Stroud, not anything that's like his fault. He's going to have to hit pay dirt early, first of all, in this game. It could get out of hand pretty quick. Mixon could just run all over the Titans like he has everyone that he's dealt with to this point.
Right.
That said, I am starting Nico.
Yeah.
But it's like a cautiously optimistic receiver 2 for me this week.
Yeah.
And kind of going forward, like they're just run. It's so much running and
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Kind of
yeah. So I hate it. Like for a while there, I was like, Nico's a receiver 1.
Yeah.
He's just not his fault. But you got to start him.
Yeah.
And listen, I won't be surprised he walks away with 17 fantasy points.
Right. Yeah.
I will flex Dell if I have to, but I'd rather fade this if I could. How about you?
Sure. I don't want to. I'd almost take Nick Westbrook-Akine
really
on the other side over Dell. He's caught 4 touchdowns, 4 straight games.
The guy's on the Texans through the air.
The guy's a red zone threat at this point.
He'd be
the one was like a 78-yard, or no, it was 98 yards that he scored this past week. So, I mean, he's not just a red zone threat.
It is touchdown or bust, though.
Yeah, it definitely is touchdown or bust.
How to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a whole lot left here. You'd flex Akina, deep league flex?
Yeah, deep league
tons
flex.
Of buys, nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, right. Over Dell, I would be okay with that. Go with them going against the Titans.
Man.
And plus the way they run the ball. I'm going the touchdown upside of Akine over Dell, who's going to lose targets to Nico, and they're going to run the ball.
Man, I hate agreeing with this, but I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. All right.
Again, wouldn't surprise me if Dell has 15. It wouldn't.
Right.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I'll take the touchdown upside.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good enough. He might be a good sneaky start candidate, though. Is he that sneaky anymore?
Not anymore. Not after the last 4 weeks.
No. All right. I've got nothing else for this. You?
No.
All right. Let's move on to the Vikings at the Bears. So even though I'm happy, with the baby steps that I saw last week out of Caleb, and am confident in him overall going forward, it doesn't translate to redraft yet for me. And a good chance that it won't this year unless we see something that you just flat out cannot ignore.
Right.
However, it does pique my interest a little more for his pass catchers, namely DJ Moore and Roma Dunze. 10 targets for Adunze last week, and they made a concerted effort to get him involved. I am going to keep my eye on that. And there's a chance that he's available, I would say, in a good amount of leagues. If I could add him to my bench and wait and see, I would. Not ready to start him yet. But if it does hit and he can string together some consistency over the next few weeks, it might be one of those like sneaky late season ads that kind of helps you throughout the playoffs that you didn't even see coming.
Sure.
And maybe you've been using like a revolving door at flex. There's a lot worse things you could do. It's worth a shot if you have the roster spot for him, I'd say. What do you feel on that?
I'm sketched out of the whole offense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not pounding the table for Adunze, but 10 targets?
I know.
New coordinator, and all of a sudden, bang, 10 targets.
I would like to see that continue. It does scare me to see the rest of the season, though.
Yeah, so this is like I said, this is just if it doesn't hurt to put him there.
Sure.
Put him there. If you're carrying a second defense and you don't know why.
Yeah.
Like you have the Buccaneers at this point, drop that other defense and add Adunze.
Yeah.
That's more valuable in the long run, in my opinion. And it's something that you can use. So, yeah, it's a speculative ad.
Yeah.
But, man, 10 targets.
I'd like to keep, if I can get him on my bench, I would love to do that and see where, after this week, if he continues to have 10 targets, then yeah, I'm going to throw him in.
As far as DJ Moore, I would flex him. The Vikings are 31st against the receiver position. What, you?
Yeah, like I said,
6 buys this week.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to start him, no matter where you drafted him. You're probably going to start him. The whole offense just scares me, but it did look better.
It did look better.
It did.
Vikings, like I said, they're 31st against the receiver position, so I might be able to get. It's a division game, though. They can just, I can't stress that enough. Division games can get really, and all the podcasts I listen to, like of fantasy podcasts, I never hear anyone talk. Oh, they're playing the Giants this week. Don't care. They're in the same division.
Yeah.
The teams play up.
Yeah.
Now you don't just go avoiding starting guys because of that, but that should be in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Fade Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Just about for good. I have this feeling that this is gonna go more in Adunze.
Yeah.
And I hate it because I love Keenan Allen.
Sure. Yeah.
I just have this gut feeling. I could be wrong. Like we could come back after these games happen and just be like, well, 12 targets for Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And 2 for Odunze. I don't know. Again, this is all speculative stuff. This is gut call type stuff. I am not banging the table for this at all. Let me be very clear about that.
Yeah.
You're starting Swift, but going to temper the expectations.
Yeah. The gauntlet starts now.
Yeah.
This is the first week of the gauntlet through the rest of the season for him.
Vikings are second against the running back position. They're hard to run on. I guess you probably have to start them, and you just got to hope for some receiving work.
Yeah. Hope for a touchdown.
Is he a little banged up right now?
Yeah, he's dealing with a groin injury.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well.
Not great. I've been trying to trade him for 4 weeks. And
good
definitely
luck.
ain't going to happen now.
Nick, Darnold has been your guy.
He is.
Where are you on him this week? The Bears are first against the quarterback position.
Yeah, you can still roll him out there. I'm still going to roll him out.
I'll fade him.
But I'm not thrilled. Yeah.
No, I don't like him this week, man.
Yeah.
I just don't like him this week. No, I'll start him over Russ. I'll start him over Jameis.
Right.
Obviously, but I would love to go elsewhere.
Yeah. He's going to finish in
there's a guy
20s.
later that we're going to talk about that I'd rather take.
Okay.
All right. I'd rather play over him.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Bounce back this week for Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
You can run on the Bears.
You can run on the Bears.
Does this Cam Akers thing bug you?
A little bit. That should have been Aaron Jones'
Yeah.
touchdown.
I'm not like crazy concerned at the moment, and I'll start Aaron Jones this week. I am starting Aaron Jones this week. However, we see that usage split again. I'm a little worried headed into the playoffs with Aaron
I
Jones.
always forget how young Cam Akers is too. He's still really young.
He is. We should point out as well, Aaron Jones' last 4 PPR outings have been 11 points or less. I think there was one where he banged up his hip.
Yeah.
So I'll give him, and he came back like mid fourth quarter.
Right.
And the hip thing, I think, happened pretty
It was
early-ish.
Yeah, it was in the first quarter, I think.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you probably have to start him. It's not a smash start, but you can run on the Bears. So you just hope that this usage thing, and he's not been super efficient. So we need some Aaron Jones.
Get back to what he was early.
Yeah. Smash start Jefferson, obviously.
Yeah.
Any interest in Addison this week?
He's a boomer, bless.
Yeah. So double-digit PPR points literally every other week.
Weird.
It is. So if the trend continues, he'll finish somewhere between 4 and 7 PPR points this week.
Great.
Listen, I'm going to fade him this week and buy the trend.
Yeah, sure.
I'll admit, playing Chicago makes buying the trend a little easier.
Yeah, it does.
All right. So I will fade him and watch him drop 20, and it's like, okay, the trend doesn't matter. It just kind of fell that way. How about Hawkinson this week?
I hope he gives you enough the rest of the season.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Josh Oliver stepping all over his feet.
Yeah.
Chicago's middle of the road against, tight ends. So,
I'm chalking it up to Sam and him haven't had enough time to.
Yeah. He had a lot of targets before this, but like in this past game here, he had 3 targets.
Yeah.
He's going to need a lot more than that.
Yeah.
I do have a little concern if you have another tight end, depending on who that is. I would like to fade Hawkinson.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, I get it.
Yeah.
I can't. I have Taysom Hill on the bench. I have to play Hawkinson this week in a league. I got no choice.
Nope.
Anything else here?
I don't think so.
Okay. Move on to the Cowboys at the Commanders. After the game against the Texans, are we back to receiver one faith for CD after a little panic?
I think so.
The schedule's incredible.
Yeah.
Washington, Giants, Cincinnati. Playoffs, Carolina, Tampa, Philly.
Yeah.
Go buy now from another owner?
Yeah.
Well, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an okay thing to do, I think.
Yeah.
Or sell off this.
That's what I was thinking.
You would prefer to sell off this?
I would like to sell off of it, yeah.
Okay.
Just seems like they're going to keep rolling Cooper Rush out there.
Well, they are.
And I don't know. He doesn't wow me.
No, but he doesn't really have to as long as the volume's there.
Right.
And quite honestly, like right now, it sounds weird to say it, but like I'd rather him throwing the ball than Trey Lance.
I'm the other way.
Nah, there's no rapport there, right? Like at least there's that at the end of the day. Like they've done this before.
They have to get Trey Lance reps. They have
I'm sure they will. I don't want them to, but I'm sure that they will.
Yeah. As an Eagles fan, I don't want them to because I think they have a better chance of winning games when they have Trey Lance than Cooper Rush.
I don't think so. I
think
we're very far apart.
I think Trey Lance is I'm not saying Trey Lance is a starting quarterback in the NFL, but I think he's better than Cooper Rush.
Okay. I mean, he has the rushing upside. How I'm not leaning into that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we'll be seeing Ferguson this weekend. Mike McCarthy's not optimistic. He's dealing with a concussion.
Yeah.
Commanders, 19th against the running back position. Flex consideration for Dowdle?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd like to avoid it.
I hate that backfield so much.
Me too.
Yeah.
With 6 buys, you might not be able to avoid it. Maybe you can. I don't love the volume. I don't like any of it. I'd rather fade this if I can. But again, this is a tough bye week. I can't stress that enough. We'll probably say it more before we're done here.
Yeah.
Can we get back on the Jaden Daniels train this week?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so too. I have a hell of a hard time putting him on my bench, especially in this one. It is a division game, but the Commanders are at home. Cowboys defense, they're just not good.
Yeah.
Rushing upside continually keeps Daniels in my lineup. I just hope he's getting healthy. because the last couple of weeks the rushing has not been there. But you got to imagine that's due to the rib injury he's been dealing with.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
sure. Yeah.
So
It's wearing like an extra heavy flak jacket. And
Mhm.
yeah.
I would say with health, the rushing should come back.
Yeah.
You kind of need that for him.
Yeah.
For fantasy. So yeah, but I will. Yeah, I'm back on the train this week. I'll start Jaden Daniels, no problem. Bounce back from McLaurin.
Yeah.
Say yes.
He got released from Guantanamo Bay. So I told you guys that
You sure did.
that if you guys mention Terry McLaurin, tell people don't start him.
I can't tell people not to start Terry McLaurin, man.
But who was right?
You were right.
I'm just
but
saying.
there is no way I'm telling anyone to bench him.
Listen, Terry McLaurin's crazy good. I love Terry McLaurin. If somebody shuts down Jamar Chase and that person is going to be lining up against the person that shut down Jamar Chase 90% of the game.
Was he on Chase that much?
Yeah.
Q? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he only had 3 catches. I think it was 3 catches. It was either 34 or 43 yards.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think to be fair, we told people you probably should temper expectations from McLaurin, but like
Sure.
I can't in good faith be like, put him on your bench. I just can't. I can't say that.
Right.
He's still a receiver 2 for me.
Yeah.
And
yeah. From now on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can start Ertz here again, especially all these damn buys, man. Like I don't see a problem with Ertz at all. Who has the better finish this week? Brian Robinson or Austin Eckler?
I think Brian Robinson. I think they're going to run the ball more.
Yeah, I'll take Robinson.
Yeah.
Listen, as good as Eckler was last week, 8 receptions was a season high, and it will stay that way.
Yeah.
He only had 2 carries to Robinson's 16.
Yeah.
So I think you can flex Eckler
Absolutely.
weekly,
Yeah.
even with a fully healthy Robinson. They seem to use Eckler the right way.
Yeah.
So even with some minimal touches, to me, he always merits consideration as a flex.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right. Anything else here?
Don't think so.
All right. Let's move on to the Patriots at the Dolphins. Spot start. Pick one. Drake May or Tua?
Tua.
Give me May. I just think he has enough around him. He can get enough through the air, and a touchdown or 2. I do not buy this. I don't think the Dolphins defense is that good. The pass defense, I don't think they're that good, man. Now, don't have a ton of weaponry on the Patriots side.
Yeah.
But it's the same weaponry that May's been dropping 19, 20
Sure.
fantasy points with. So
Sure.
it is what it is. And he has rushing upside that Tua does not.
Right.
He basically has 25 or more rushing yards every game. So I just need to see the picks come down a little bit. But
right.
Give me May over Tua. Flex DeMario Douglas this week.
Yeah.
I will as well.
I think in PPR, I think you can flex some rest of season.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Interest in any other receivers? Redraft.
For the Patriots?
Yeah.
No.
Tyler expressed some hope for Kendrick Bourne. None for you?
No.
I kind of want to monitor it. Just because it's like, well, somebody has to
step up, sure, but
I'll tell you what, I like Kayshon Boutte in Dynasty.
I think you can get better for a redraft.
Oh, sure. But I think Kendrick Bourne's he's a decent stash candidate, kind of like a Dunze.
Sure.
Stash him and just see where this
See where
goes.
it's at. Yeah.
Because Kendrick Bourne's certainly talented enough.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
He's just hasn't been healthy, and he is now. So yeah, speculative stash.
Yeah.
Start or sit Hunter Henry.
Probably with buys, I could see you starting them this week.
Yeah, I would get it.
I'd rather start the tight end on the other side.
Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Ramondre Stevenson.
Touchdown dependent flex.
Yeah. So the Dolphins are 24th against the running back position. So this is where teams do dismantle Miami.
Yeah.
And I expect a heavy workload. With that, you hope for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So with a touchdown or 2, he's an RB2.
Yeah.
With no TDs, he's most likely going to give you a flex day.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 10 and 13.
Right.
But with a touchdown, I mean, you could be looking at 20 plus.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like Ramondre this week. You're starting Achane. You're starting Tyreek. I'm done with Jalen Waddle, man. He does
should be
nothing.
on waivers.
He's just I'm out.
Yep.
I'm so far gone on him. It's not even a bit of a consideration for me. Give me Demario Douglas over and give me a lot of guys over Waddle. How about Jonnu Smith?
I love Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, it's spotty. Personally, I'd like to avoid it. It's like 20-some points, a slew of single digits, then 20-some points. Tight end premium, different story.
Right.
But just PPR, I don't know. Maybe they found in him what they can't get out of Waddle.
Seems like it.
Like Ty said, dude's fast. Boy, is he ever. I kind of forgot how fast Jonnu Smith was, and I'm like, oh yeah, he makes sense in this offense.
Yeah.
Just dump it short and let him go.
Yeah.
But I gotta see this again. Man, his play itself makes it pretty convincing.
Yeah, he looks good the last few weeks.
It's just, I'm a consistency guy, and it's hard without that. But with all these buys, I could see where maybe you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I used him to get Hawk and a couple of other guys. It was a big trade that I had in a redraft. And I almost wish that I could have kept Jonnu Smith instead of get Hawk.
And you said Jonnu over Henry?
Yeah.
Man, I think I would take that chance.
Yeah.
I think I'd go Jonnu over Henry. All right. Anything else here?
No.
Okay. Let's move on to the Chiefs at the Panthers. We going to finally get a Mahomes super game here, or are they just going to run all over him?
I don't know. It could go either way.
I know.
But you'd like to say that this is the Mahomes.
This is the time
This
for
is
it?
the Mahomes game.
Yeah. Panthers have been much better against the pass lately.
They've been a lot better.
Moving
Yeah.
all the way from 32 to 24.
Yeah, that's pretty far, man. When
Yeah.
you were as bad as you were.
That's not shit against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
torch that.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're
They
first.
might go all the way back down to 32nd. I don't know. Yeah.
So are we expecting Pacheco back this week?
It sounds like next week.
Okay.
Yeah, he's getting real close though.
If it's not this week, it is a smash start for Hunt and might
Yeah.
be the last one.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah, 32nd ranked rush defense with the Panthers. But
You
yeah,
could sell him real high this week.
yeah.
You might want to start him, but if you can flip him for something,
Unless you're reeling for a win.
yeah.
That's
If you're
a
reeling
tough
for
boat.
a win, yeah.
That's a tough boat to
Yeah.
be in. Yeah. So Hunt, I was thinking that Pacheco, from some of the stuff I read, could come back this week, but I'm starting to think that that's not the
Yeah,
case.
it just doesn't seem like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, smash start Hunt or Pacheco, I guess, whoever plays.
Whoever
it.
plays, you're
Yeah.
smash starting one of them.
Do you think in Pacheco's first game it could be a 50-50
I think,
workload
yeah.
between the two?
I think they'll take
First
it
couple,
real
maybe?
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They-
That actually could
They're
be a
going to
problem.
want to save him for the playoffs, I'm sure.
The real life playoffs.
Right.
That could be a problem
Yeah.
in fantasy. It could, Pacheco returns and just squashes both of them.
Yeah.
That would suck.
It could, yeah.
Xavier Worthy. So we said to cut him, and then he dropped 16 fantasy points. I'm like, of course you would.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
I still don't have any interest. I don't know.
He's terrible on the sideline.
Yeah.
He cannot get 2 feet in bounds.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's been like 5 catches the last 3 weeks where it's an easy for you would get 6 more points
Mhm.
for your fantasy team, and then he's got 1 foot in bounds.
Yeah. I'm not going to deal with this headache.
No.
Somebody else can have him.
Yeah.
I'll cut him. Someone pick him up. Oh yeah, he just good. Have fun.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing
All
with that.
you, man.
DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know, man. I
Still flexing him every week.
guess. I just, man, after what we saw that one week, hard not to.
Yeah.
But then,
It's gonna.
where'd
it'll
you
be fine.
go?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So you're gonna flex him?
I can flex him.
Yeah, I'll flex him. Travis Kelce's a must start. How much do we need to really say there? As far as the Panthers side, it's Chuba Hubbard, and that's it. And even that's sketchy.
Yeah, you're
But-
playing with fire this week.
He's been matchup proof
Yeah.
all year long. So
Right.
you just keep going with it. And I'm starting to wonder if we going to see Jonathan Brooks this year?
I don't think so.
It doesn't feel like it.
No, it doesn't.
Why would they?
Especially
Why not?
after signing Hubbard to a long-term contract.
Right. You're going to have him back next year. Your season's a wash. I would just let the kid keep getting healthier and
Yeah.
healthier and stronger. I wouldn't even toy with. Then come back next year with your wannabe
Sonic
Montgomery
and Knuckle.
Gibbs tandem.
Yeah.
No interest in Leggett. No interest in Coker.
No.
No interest in JT Sanders. And for crying out loud, if you have interest in Bryce Young, just hang it up.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
Yeah.
It's Chuba Hubbard, and that's it.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on to the Buccaneers at the Giants. Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans. We're going to see that duo again.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. It's crazy what Baker's been doing.
Without anybody.
Just a tight end.
Yeah.
Just a tight end.
Yeah.
Bringing Evans back. That's going to be huge. So it sounds like this week, right? Reports sound that way?
Yeah, it sounds like he'll be back this week.
Okay. You starting him if he plays?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Rashad White, Bucky Irving. Pick one. Giants are 29th against the run. So
you want to start one of them.
Yeah, I'll start the one that actually runs the ball well.
Yeah, which is Bucky.
Give me Bucky.
But then you have Rashad White who gets the touches.
It's okay. He does nothing with them.
Yeah.
Now in PPR, it's like, yeah, but he gets a point every time he catches it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like every time Bucky runs the ball, it could supersede everything that Rashad White's done.
Right.
I'll take Bucky. Who are you taking?
I don't know.
Got to take one.
I want Bucky.
All right, it's fine.
Yeah, I
don't think that's a crazy take, man.
Yeah.
Feels like every time I've said I'll take Bucky,
we say chase the volume all the time.
We do, unless you do.
Unless you're terrible with volume,
yeah,
right?
I don't know, man. I've just seen enough of Rashad White to be like, eh.
Yeah.
But he has been better here lately. Let me just pull this up really quick so we have a little bit of context. Maybe if I had this sorted correctly.
You think he finally realized, like, oh, there's a guy breathing down my neck?
Yeah, yeah. In his last four PPR, 29, 14, 11, and 18 points.
Yeah.
So,
I think he finally realized, like, they're going to take this job away from me. I got to do something. But there was also two main receivers out.
Yeah, true. Here's Bucky's last four, 16, 15, 6, 17. So it's like...
Can you flex both of them?
I don't know. It's Montgomery and Gibbs light.
Light,
like,
yeah.
It's a poor man's
really
version.
light,
Like,
yeah.
I think you can start both these guys. I like Bucky more for some reason.
I do too. I would love to see a game where they switch their snap share.
Yeah, right.
Like, let me see what he has.
Last game, it was 10 carries for Rashad White, 6 catches. So 16 total touches for Rashad White last game before they went on bye. What do you think it was for Bucky?
15?
16. 13 rushes and 3 receptions.
Split it right down the middle as far as touches go. But then their snap share is...
Right.
Rashad White is like... I forget exactly what it was. It's 10% higher or whatever.
That's all right. If it was more than that, that's okay with me. I think Bucky's better.
Sure.
That's all. I just think Bucky's
I'm on board with you. I agree.
But yeah, I understand with the volume thing too. But then when we saw that, it's like, well, the volume's pretty much split. But like you said, the snap share does put Rashad White on the field a little bit more.
Right.
Just it's not enough to move the needle enough.
Sure.
Somewhere between 8 and 10% more. It's just like
flex both.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
There you
go. Kate Otten, smash start every week. And this I think the consensus thought, I think, with a lot of people is like, well, Mike Evans is back. So it's like, no. This is better for Otten.
Yeah.
This is better for Otten. Now all the attention's not on him.
Right.
Giants side. Here comes Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets.
Why isn't it Drew Lock?
I don't know. I think they did him really dirty. You've been the backup all season long. Tommy's been the healthy scratch every game this season. And then you go all the way down to your third quarterback over Drew Lock, who came there to be the backup that could potentially be the starter. He knew that it was a shaky situation.
He even said it. Like he said, like in the preseason, he's just like, I'm here to be Daniel's backup. Like I know what my role is. And I was like, look at Drew Lock growing up.
Yeah.
Because when he first came in the league, I was like, you need to bring it down there, buddy. Like dancing after a score. It's like you just lost 5 straight, man.
Putting the backpack on.
Yeah. Stop it.
I like it
when he won that game
against the Eagles.
Was he with Seattle?
With Seattle.
And like he kind of cried a little bit at the end. Like, you don't think you're ever going to get another shot? And I'm like, he grew up.
Yeah.
You could tell right then and there. It's like, oh, Drew Lock matured.
Yeah.
Like he needed what happened to happen.
Sure.
Now maybe he can be a legit backup, like a career backup.
He should be a starter in this game.
Yeah, I just think it's proof that they're tanking. They're done.
I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I love the whole Tommy Cutlet, Tommy DeVito thing, but
yeah,
this should be Drew Lock.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Tyrone Tracy facing the 16th ranked rush defense. So he's a flex.
I think so.
And you should add Singletary at this point.
Yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you have Singletary.
Yeah, if Tracy's hurt, like he's just going to get all the carries. So
right.
No problem there. Yeah, you should. This is tightening up your roster. This is crunch time. Start cleaning it up. So with Tommy Cutlets,
yeah.
What's that do for Malik Neighbors?
I think this is a worse situation.
I don't.
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit before the podcast. You said that you think Tommy DeVito will... He's not afraid. He doesn't care.
No, he's got nothing to lose.
Sling the ball.
Yep.
I agree.
To me, Jones plays scared. Like he's got everything to lose, and it's like, dude, he won't throw outside the numbers. And when he does, it's horrible.
Right.
Tommy DeVito is like,
whatever, dude.
He ain't afraid to throw outside the numbers. He did a lot last year. Teams figured it out, and it slowed things down.
Yeah.
But he didn't have Malik Neighbors either.
Yeah.
You know, like he was banking on Wan'Dale Robinson. Now you can bank on Neighbors with Robinson coming across the middle. I think it's a slight, this feels weird to say. Give me a slight, ever so slight bump for Malik Neighbors.
Okay.
To me, Neighbors is a receiver too. Just his upside is insane.
Yeah.
And probably where you drafted him, unless you made some moves by now.
Yeah. I ditched on him before the Daniel Jones benching. I ditched on him.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. The offense is, I don't like it.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah. So I got rid of him.
I think DeVito could give like a weird spark just for, it's going to be a spark that burns out really fast.
Oh, yeah.
But I do think there could be a little spark.
The fans are going to be jumping.
Yeah. They love Tommy Cutlets. Man.
Yeah.
Wan'Dale. So to me, Malik Neighbors is a low end receiver too. And Wan'Dale's a lower end flex. I actually like Wan'Dale more with Daniel Jones because of how he plays.
I guess I'd probably say Neighbors is a high end flex and Wan'Dale's a low end flex is where I would be.
Fair enough.
They're still going to get their targets.
Sure. Anything else here?
No.
All right, let's move on to our last game. I put this one at the back end, Nick. The Lions at the Colts. Start all your Detroit Lions. Why are you even questioning it?
Yeah.
Start Goff on the road?
Yeah, it's indoors.
Yeah. Colts D is terrible against everyone except Aaron Rodgers, apparently. Goff or Richardson?
Goff.
Give me Richardson.
I know.
What do we even say about these Lions guys other than, like, listen, start Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, Jameson Williams every week.
If you're a bad defense, you are getting embarrassed.
Yeah, man.
Every week.
Yeah.
Like,
if you're a middle of the road defense, you're getting...
They had Penei Sewell taking routes a few weeks ago.
So ridiculous.
Like, they're just doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This offense is fantasy gold.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of anybody here.
No. Start them all the time.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on Laporta. He's still dealing with a shoulder injury. Do you have anything new on that at all?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
there.
It's too early to know for sure. Yeah, that's it for Detroit, man. I mean, like, you start all these guys. Laporta is questionable to start.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's weird how everyone's just going bananas, but like he gets nothing.
Yeah.
It's so strange. After last year, I don't know. It's weird. There was really no, like, what was Jameson's deal last year?
Was he suspended last year? Or was that his ACL year? He's either hurt or suspended.
He was suspended for a chunk. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe that's just why Laporta.
That was his gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's how. Maybe we got fooled on Laporta.
Yeah. Maybe.
Like, he's obviously very good.
Yeah.
But like, there's no target.
They don't need him right now. No.
Start Jonathan Taylor. You have no choice.
Yeah.
You have to start him. I know this Lions defense is wicked.
Yeah.
All right, Nick.
Here we go.
I'm not going to gush and get all crazy here.
Okay.
I did that last episode. I'm sure you heard it.
Yeah.
I did it to Tyler, and I spared you.
Yeah, thank God.
So, are you with me on Josh Downs? How can you not, dude? All right, I'm pulling up. I'm going to gush.
I feel better.
This is crazy,
I
man.
feel better.
Dude, I don't know how, like, you can't feel great. Like,
I just don't know how Michael Pittman became a sideshow here. You paid him $1 billion
because Josh Downs is better. It's pretty.
I don't think is right. Sure. Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco are throwing him the ball more, sure. But Michael Pittman's the better receiver and should be getting the ball thrown his way.
I have never been a big fan of Michael Pittman, ever.
I like him.
I think he's
I'm excited to see where he goes next season.
I was going to say, he might just be in the wrong offense.
Yeah.
This just might not be right for him.
I'm excited to see where he goes. I mean, they signed him to a long-term deal, sure, but they now know that they don't use him and they don't want him anymore.
I have got to read you Josh Downs' game log, man.
Like, I know it's great.
It is great.
I know it is.
He has a 5 in week 3.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
But then it's 22, 15, 19, then a 1, then 21, 13, 14, 19. Like, this is a receiver too.
That sounds like he's due for like a 1 this week, and then goes on
against a terrible Detroit pass defense. I mean,
Terrion Arnold's like an all-pro corner stuck on a terrible pass defense.
I don't get it. He's got Detroit, New England, then he goes on bye. Now, week 15, he's got Denver. 16 is Tennessee. If Snead's there, that's concerning.
Yeah.
And then he's got the Giants. Finish it out.
Who are 4th against the pass.
Oh, I kind of keep forgetting they're sneaky.
Yeah.
I do kind of forget that. Yeah, okay. Well, listen, dude, like he's the 16th ranked receiver.
I know. I don't know what it is about him. The numbers are there.
Consistency?
I don't know.
You run from consistency?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, dude, listen to these targets.
I don't know. Just Josh Downs just doesn't seem good to me. But he is clearly he is.
He is. His last 4 games, just targets 9, 9, 10, 5. Now 5, okay, but 9, 9, 10.
Yeah.
A couple games before that, 9, 12, 9. Like,
yeah,
you can't run.
He's there all the time.
Yeah, and it doesn't take like you can throw it to him 5 yards. It's what he does.
Yeah.
That's why I love Josh Downs.
Yeah.
It's yak stuff. It's what he does with the ball in his hands after the catch. Like, I just think and Pittman can't do that.
No.
Pittman is not a yak guy.
No.
He's a possession receiver who can get downfield.
Yeah.
And where he catches it, he's either going out of bounds or getting tackled.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to catch and keep going. And I just think this is definitely like you would think you would want a lean yak type receiver in this offense with who's running the offense and Shane Steichen and you would think that's more. I just think Pittman might be in. It's not a good fit.
Yeah,
and Steichen didn't bring him in. He's just there when he showed up. So it's no one's fault. It's not Pittman's fault. It's not Steichen's fault. Like, will he end up somewhere else?
It's a long-term deal, so they're probably going to have to eat money if they trade him. But he's not going to want to be there.
I wouldn't think so.
He signed there to be the guy, and he's not the guy.
Right.
He's not even the second guy or even the third guy.
Yeah, no.
A.D. Mitchell's over him.
Yeah, A.D. Mitchell
and Alec Pierce. A.D. Mitchell's, dude, he was so good in college.
Way into him for Dynasty.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Big time. Not redraft. It's too soon.
Yeah, as soon as the Colts get another quarterback, that'll be a crazy.
That's not going to happen for a long time, my friend. So you're not with me on Anthony Richardson.
Still not there yet.
He looked fantastic.
He looked great last week.
Looked really good.
Yeah.
0% off target throws.
Yeah, no, it looked a lot better.
I have to say, man, like I thought this, and again, I said this, now I am gushing and repeating myself, but Shane Steichen said, and I'm like, okay, this is coach speak. Of course you're going to say that because you're starting him. You have to come up with something to say.
Yeah.
But then I watched it and I'm like I watched a lot of that game and I'm like, he did do what Steichen said. He worked on a lot of minor detail stuff.
Yeah.
You could see it.
I hope it continues. And if it does, then great.
I just don't know. Like, I agree with Ty. Like, where are you going to find this upside on the waivers? Like, to me, last week, outside of Taysom Hill, like, he's the best ad.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd add him over Will Disley, too. I don't know, man. I'm starting him in a 12-man redraft league. I'm going for it. I'm gonna go for it. The rushing upside, man, is in they're like designing runs now.
Yeah,
It's like which is like why would
I would love to see this continue. That way, next year I can draft him as my quarterback next year and be comfortable. But I need to see it. I have to see it.
I just think like nobody was starting Josh Allen year 1. Nobody was starting Josh Allen year 2. And it's like it's just how it is, man. Like I think we expect so much so fast.
Yeah,
and like,
but
even though
the same thing, you don't want to start Trey Lance in Dallas.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like the same thing. You gave up on Trey Lance. You don't want.
I gave up on him.
Well, I'm not you. I'm not saying you.
I thought you were saying because I preferred Rush with.
No. I'm not saying you. I'm saying like
they sure did.
Everybody gave up on Trey Lance, but he's younger than like almost every quarterback coming out of the draft.
I totally
this year.
agree. That like, made no sense to me. How they did that with Trey Lance.
I don't know.
The kid like broke his ankle, and then you're like, we're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I. That's why I think the Cowboys should give him a look.
Oh, they certainly
It's
should.
the same thing with Anthony Richardson.
Sure.
Like,
but that's how. Like everyone just wants everything right now, and it's like, hey, project quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, what more do you need to hear? Josh Allen, project I'm not calling him Josh Allen. Let me make that very clear. But everyone, I was screaming at people when he was being drafted. I'm like, what don't you see? What do you not see? This guy is a game-changing player if things can get right. You know, you can't coach accuracy. You can't? Then why do we have quarterback coaches? Like, what do you mean you can't coach accuracy? Guess what? Josh Allen is proof you can. And last week, what I saw out of Anthony Richardson is just more proof. Like, yes, good coaching matters so much. Yeah. And it also, like, yes, that's reality, but that leans into fantasy where don't give up on guys so quick. Now, if you wanted to give up on Richardson and redraft this year, I get it. But, man, imagine all the people with these same feelings over Josh Allen, his rookie and second year, that were in dynasty leagues that were like, I'm done with this kid. It's like, yeah, you loving that now?
Yeah.
Are you so glad that you got like Nick Chubb for Josh Allen now?
I just
like
I don't
super flex dynasty. Like I just think
I don't see Anthony Richardson ever being even close to that.
To Josh Allen?
Yeah.
No, not in real life, but I don't care. He doesn't have to be. All he has to do is rush for 50 yards, throw for a chunk, and run a couple in. Like that's, to me, it's just, that's like whenever people, Lamar Jackson is another one. Like you were not wanting anything to do with Lamar Jackson.
You bought him because of the rushing upside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what was he terrible with?
Yeah. Couldn't throw the ball at all.
Right. He took a lot of crap, man. He took a lot of flack. And I think it's like what drives me nuts. It's like, don't we learn? Like year after year after year, like give it a minute. Just stick him on your bench. You drafted him. Just put him on your dynasty bench.
Sure.
And just let it ride a little bit. Like if you took Anthony Richardson, your team ain't ready to compete anyway.
Yeah, true.
Like, don't just dump it off because in a couple years, I think you're going to be really sorry. Now, is he going to be this Josh Allen, like Super Bowl contending? I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
Like I'm not ready to go there, but dude, quarterbacks look at what Justin Fields has done. I mean, you know, last year was it last year? Year before. Anyway, terrible arm.
Yeah.
But he does great things in the run game. And like when people just can't see that, but like his throwing is, this isn't real football.
Yeah.
Like this is fantasy football. And when you learn to differentiate the two, I think it's really important when it comes to this specific scenario right here. Because yes, it looks ugly to sit there and watch sometimes.
Yeah.
But what happens when you open your phone and look at your roster? Oh, he's got 26 fantasy points.
He's got 26 fantasy points. You're happy.
Who cares, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right. That's all we got there. Fading Pittman and Pierce, right?
Yeah.
Deep league flex maybe for Pierce.
For Pierce.
Crazy to say not Pittman.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It upsets me, but.
All right. One last thing here. Let's get into Nick's Week 12 boom list. Take it away, Nick.
Yeah, so we just talked about Jared Goff coming off another huge game after a week where he threw 5 interceptions. Give me him against the Colts. They're 26 against the pass. That's my QB1. QB2's Justin Herbert going against the Ravens. They're 32nd against the pass. Hopefully he can do what Russell Wilson I expected of against the Ravens. Plus Justin Herbert's been like incredible the last few weeks. Then I have James Conner running back 1 against Seattle. They're 27th against the rush, and he's still getting a ton of usage. So ride that train. I have Kareem Hunt as my RB2. Obviously, if Pacheco does come back, which I'm pretty sure he's not, but if he does, this would change. But I'm going Kareem Hunt for now against the Panthers. They're 32nd against the run. You're using that every week. Wide receiver 1, pairing Amon-Ra St. Brown with Jared Goff. I hit last week on that one. He was my wide receiver 1. He was wide receiver 1. Terry McLaurin's my wide receiver 2 going against the Cowboys. They're 19th against the pass. I think Terry McLaurin really wants to come out and show that was just one guy that shut me down. I can still play.
Yeah.
Tight end 1's Travis Kelce against the Panthers.
Bounce back.
Down week last week. I'm expecting a bounce back. And then I have the Bucks against the Giants for my defense because it's Tommy DeVito and
Bucks rest the season, baby.
Bucks the rest of the season. Yeah.
I'm going to do, that's a good list, man. I like it a lot. Did you listen to the last podcast?
Yeah.
Full agree on Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Full agree. It's something's clicking
in
LA for
it's making
sure.
sense there.
Yeah, it just took a look. Again, can we be patient? New coach. Like, there's not a lot there receiver-wise. Like, you're kind of trying to figure that out. Can we just, people's patience, man. It's like, it's John Harbaugh.
If they can
give it a minute.
If they can add one of the wide receivers in this draft,
or Jim, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple of really good wide receivers coming up in this draft.
Yeah.
If they can add one of them, they're a scary offense.
Sure.
Just one receiver changes everything.
Bring Dobbins right back. Bring Vidal. You got Vidal right there with you. And bring Gus back and just keep that going.
Sure.
I'm really intrigued by the Chargers.
Yeah.
Really intrigued. Like, going forward.
Yeah. And their defense is fine.
Yeah.
So
I love Justin Herbert so much.
Yeah. I love Justin Herbert too.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
All right. You have any final thoughts?
Now that I'm thinking about it, give me McMillan to the. It won't happen because I think the Chargers end up finishing too high. But if they can somehow move up and get Territoria McMillan, that would be a ridiculous offense.
Yeah. Mitchell, how about you?
I guess with people being mathematically eliminated, I'm sorry if that's you, but stay out of the waivers.
Yeah. Yeah. There's unwritten rules. Stay off the waivers.
Yeah.
Poor Tyler has so much trouble with that in his redraft league.
Don't
it's
go
like,
ditching.
oh my. And then he's got to figure out, like, well, who wanted him? Who was going for him? Then he's got to go back and see what the waiver order was. And just listen. If you're eliminated,
stay out of the way.
You just got to stay out, man.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks because you want to keep playing and having fun. I get it. Set your lineup with what you have. If that's what you want to do. Just do that. My final thought would be pretty much what I rambled about before the boom list. Stay patient in your dynasty leagues, man. Like, you don't want to lose. So I've seen it way too many times. It's like, oh, I bet you wish you still had him, huh? Like, just stay patient with your quarterbacks, especially when it's very clear they're a project quarterback. Bo Nix is a project quarterback. It's just kind of hitting a little sooner. I think you got the right coach quarterback combo there. He's like baby Taysom.
Yeah.
I just think it's so cool, man. That's my final thought. So, all right, that's it for today's show. Again, as always, thank you all so much for tuning in and giving us your support. Remember, our PPR Superflex Dynasty rankings are now available in the description. Just click the corresponding link. They are available as well on our Twitter. Also, check the description for instructions on how to get your trades graded. Join us next time for our Week 12, 4 o'clock Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football game slate preview. Remember, like, follow, and subscribe to our Spotify, Twitter, and YouTube. It's the only way we can make it. See you next time, everybody.
See you.